Hello GameMakers, this is GameMaker Rob, and in today's episode I will be showing you how to check for the mouse over different buttons and how to make them do stuff as well. And we're only using one object for this tutorial, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I have set up first of all. We have a room with a width of 640 and a height of 360. We have one button sprite. We're going to use this for all of our buttons. It's 128 width by 64 height, and it's centered in the very middle, like so. We're also going to be using two different fonts. We have a normal font for when buttons are not being moused over, and that's set to 20, and a large font set to 24. Which is the same ratio between the change in the button size when you mouse over a button. Okay, so we've got one object and we've got it in the room already, and this is going to do everything for us. You only ever need one button for this kind of stuff. So in the create event, okay, so total buttons is going to be set to 3. We are going to be using a for loop to draw buttons, so if you change this value, then the code should still work. We just have an enumerator to say what each button is supposed to be doing, just to make it a bit more easy to read for ourselves. We don't need this, I got rid of that. We just have an array to draw the text on each button, so save, load and quit. And we also need to know the half the width of the button and half the height of the button, the sprite. We're going to be using this to check for collision with the mouse. So now if we go into the actual code, what we're going to do first of all is we are just going to draw the 3 buttons just to make sure that works. So that's this region here. We're going to have a space between each button, and that's going to be half the height of the button times 3. Start X and start Y. So where do we want the first button to start? And then this for loop is going to go, the code inside this loop is going to run as many times as there are total buttons. So this one here. That's why I said you can change this value and the code will still work. XX and YY are going to be the coordinates for each button. You can see XX doesn't change because we're going to have all our buttons on the same X coordinate, but YY is going to change for whatever I is. So when I equals 0, this is going to equal 0. So the first button is going to be drawn at start Y, and then when I equals 1, then it's going to be YY plus this. And then when I equals 2, it's going to be YY plus this times 2. That's how we get the different spacing for the buttons. All we need to do is draw this sprite at XXYY. It's going to be done 3 times, and this coordinate's going to change every time. And we also need to set up the text variables. So we want it to be drawn in the center, in the middle, and we want the color black. And we are going to draw the relevant text based on I. So when I equals 0, it's going to be save. When I equals 1, it's going to be load. And when I equals 2, it's going to be quit. So if we now run the game, you can see we've got 3 buttons and we have save, load and quit. If you have that, then you are following along properly. Good job. So now we are going to get into the interesting stuff. We're going to open first of all, we're going to comment out this line here and replace it with draw sprite ext. So in this function, we're going to draw the sprite, the index, x and y coordinates as normal. We're also going to have an x scale and y scale. These two are going to change the size of the sprite. That's how we make it larger. Rotation, do we want to change the angle of it? No. if you had a variable in the step event and you had it change every step, you can make it twizz around if you wanted. Color, if you want to change the color of the sprite by mixing it with another one, you can do when it's being moused over. And alpha, do we want it to become more transparent, so be less than 1 or not? So that's what this function is going to do. And here is where we are going to check for whether the mouse is over it or not. So this block of code here, all of this is checking whether there's a mouse or not. And we're going to use a useful function called ABS. If you've seen any of my other videos, you may have seen me use this function. I used to do things the long way around until I found this. Anyway, so ABS is going to give us the difference between two values, and it's always going to return a positive value. So it doesn't matter whether you have this or XX in a different order, the result is going to be the same. Device mouse X to GUI will tell us where the mouse is based on the GUI layer. So in a room, you might have a view, and the view is moving all over the place. With the draw GUI layer, the top left of the screen is always going to be 0, 0. So that's why we use this function rather than mouse X, because mouse X would give us the room coordinate, and that would be wrong for the GUI layer. So anyway, if device mouse X to GUI is minus XX is less than or equal to half the button width, and ABS device mouse Y to GUI minus YY is less than or equal to half button height. So basically we're just checking if it's within this area. That's what those functions will do. Then if that is the case, then we're going to set X scale to 1.2 and Y scale to 1.2. This is what's going to make it larger. We're going to leave the color at white for now. That will retain the original color of the button. You can try different colors like sea green to make it green. You can experiment, whatever you want to do is fine. And we're going to set the font to large, which is the 24 font, if you remember. If this is not true, if one of these is not true, then this code is going to run. So we're going to have a normal size for the X scale and Y scale, and the color is going to be white, and we're going to have a normal font. So now if we run the game again, if you move the mouse over any of these buttons, this is what you should be seeing. And some of you might know what to do from here. Other people might be doing, well, that's cool, but how do I make the buttons do something? You know, I want to be able to do stuff. That's pretty simple as well, actually. That's what this region here is going to do. If we just open it, I'm using a series of if statements. You could use scripts instead. You could have an array like this, and then say e buttons dot save equals script save, and then if you did script execute, and then we'd need a button script I. If you had this here instead of these, then that would execute whatever script was in that array. But trying to keep things simple, try not to overload people, we're just going to use if statements for now. So if I equals 0, then we're going to use the game save function. If I equals load, then we'll do game load. If I equals quit, we're going to do game end. That easy. If you've got a simple game, this works pretty well, actually. Let's run the game. The only thing we can really test is going to be the quit function. So quit, game ends. We could do one more test. So instead of actually saving the game, we're just going to show a message. So now run the game, click on save, load, quit. There we go. Nice and easy. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will catch you next time. Bye for now.